On this episode, we'll be looking at geographic factors and natural resources. By the end of the episode, you will be able to define and identify natural resources and explain the scarcity of energy as a natural resource.
Roaming around the world to teach you how to use a map. Making social studies interesting, I swear this is no trap. Gonna learn about population, lines and degrees. Once you're through with me, this will all be a breeze. We'll travel around the world to visit seas and land. Hopefully you'll learn something with the videos I have planned. After we're through with all of this, you'll better understand. We're ready to get started with one question at hand. Where in the world is MK Shenandoah?
What is a natural resource? A natural resource is something provided by the earth and is used by people to meet their various needs, such as their need for food, clothing, and shelter. Can you think of an example of a natural resource? Some examples include soil, water, minerals, and vegetation. Some resources can be used as is. What this means is that the resource does not need to be altered or changed in any way. Water is a resource that can be used as is. Other resources need to be changed in order to be used. These are called raw materials. Raw materials are materials that need to be processed in order to be useful. Did you know there are 3 kinds of resources? Do you know the 3 kinds? The 3 kinds of resources are recyclable, renewable, and non-renewable. Recyclable resources are resources that naturally recycle through our environment. One example of a recyclable resource is water. It's recyclable because it works its way through the water cycle and is constantly recycling through our environment. Renewable resources are resources that can be replaced. An example of this would be a tree. You can chop a tree down, but then you can plant a new tree to replace it. Non-renewable resources are resources that cannot be replaced once they are used. An example of this is a mineral like coal. We also cannot forget about fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are fuels that were created over millions of years from the remains of prehistoric animals and plants. Fossil fuels are non-renewable and are no longer being created. Many of our energy needs are provided through the use of fossil fuels. However, some areas are more plentiful in their amount of fossil fuels than others. For example, Saudi Arabia and Mexico are two countries that are rich in oil. The US and China are two countries that are rich in coal and natural gas. Just because a country uses a large amount of fossil fuels for their energy does not mean that the country has its own resources. Countries that do not have enough resources to support their uses have to buy resources from other countries. Don't forget your challenge to find where in the world is MK Shenandoah. Just a reminder, I'm at 42 degrees north and 94 degrees west. This means you should be looking in the Western Hemisphere. Until next time.